Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're tuned into 98.3 The Vibe, special edition I.M.A.G.E TV podcast, episode number 17. And I've got my man Bo James in the house with me this morning from Hip Hope. He's been doing a lot of beautiful things in the community. And so, first of all, we want to say congratulations, Bo, for what you've been doing and the work that you've been putting in to the community.
Thank you, and congratulations to you, man. I see you out here. Yes.
Yeah, most definitely. So let's talk about that work. First of all, you just had the Greater Des Moines Conference for Young Men of Color. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that went phenomenal.
Yes.
Considering especially the pandemic that we're in.
Yeah, it took a lot of planning, man, and I'd like to thank my whole planning committee that worked so hard for months and months to help adjust to this year. So yeah, going virtual. We normally have it at Drake University, and we definitely miss that Olmsted Center. But going virtual this year really opened up a lot of other options to us and opportunities that we took advantage of, and just really made it work. You know, the Des Moines. Greater Des Moines Partnership really stepped up. Coco Creative really stepped up. And so the production was awesome, and it really exceeded expectations.
That's beautiful. And it's good to hear, Black businesses, white businesses, small businesses, businesses just need to be talked about and heard, especially those that don't get the opportunity.
Yeah.
So now, you also have a mentor or mentoring company under the umbrella of your nonprofit. Is that correct?
Right. Well, it's not a separate company. Hip Hope, in its essence, is a mentoring company because we are so intentional about giving youth a voice, and we are following the lead of the young people. So we encourage them to articulate that voice, and then we follow their lead. That's where we develop our programming. That's where we develop our events, but in all in support of the youth.
Okay, and so what do parents just reach out to you? If what type of kids do you take? Is there certain criteria? Tell us about it.
Man, we say we serve underprivileged, over-challenged youth. Because we don't want there to be any socioeconomic barriers, because all youth are dealing with something. We was all young, and we had some friends. Even though we came up in the hood, we had some affluent friends that was doing what we was doing in the hood, right? But especially nowadays, we had to accept, because we started off with just underprivileged youth. So these were kids who were in impoverished situations and dealing with high risk behaviors and things like that. But as we began operating and we kept that going, we noticed there were some kids who came from affluent families, but they had mental health issues, the depression. And so since we're rooted in arts and culture, via music and performing arts and things like that, and expression, really productive expression through those mediums, we noticed that those things were helping these other youth cope with depression, thoughts of suicide, things like that. So like I said, using that type of music therapy and really engaging with these kids on that level, and other challenges that we found coming from those suburbs. I mean, we just found that everyone has problems, everyone has challenges, and everyone needs that support. So especially the youth, we say there's hope in coping and healing. So that's what we do, is help the kids cope and heal.
So for those of that may be listening right now and tuned in, and they want to get involved, they feel that what they've heard it could be very beneficial to some of their decision making, and they would like to reach out to you. How would they go about doing that?
They could either go to our contact page on at hiphopeinc.org, or they can just simply email us at hiphopeinc@gmail.com.
All right. Now, you've also brought some of these mentees in the studio with you this morning, and this is exciting. We're going to get a chance to meet some of these guys. They're talented. One of them is a rapper, and I want to get a chance to actually hear some of the raps that this guy's talking about. He's so good at.
Yeah.
So Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuned into 98.3 The Vibe, Special Edition, Sunday's Best, I.M.A.G.E TV Podcast, Episode 17. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll meet the mentees. We'll be back after these messages. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. You're tuned in to the I.M.A.G.E TV Podcast, Episode number 17, The I.M.A.G.E Show. Early morning special edition. Those of you joining us early in the morning on 98.3 The Vibe, as you may be rolling down the street to church, or you might just be sitting back in the car listening. We've got Hip Hope in the house with us this morning, and we've been talking with Bo James. That's right, one of Des Moines' entrepreneurs here in the inner city. And so, Bo, as we chopped it up, you've also told us that you've got some mentees, and we've got one of them with us right now, one out of three that we have, actually. So we've got Twan Flan, a.k.a. Twan. And Twan, it's a pleasure to have you on the I.M.A.G.E Show, my friend.
Thank you.
So let me first start off by just saying you've been working with Bo James. How's that experience been?
It's been real good because he done put me onto a lot of things that I never thought would happen. Actually, when I started doing music, I never really took it seriously, for real. But when I went to school, I told my principal that I like to do music and everything. I had spit something for him. So then he said he know a guy named Bo James. He said he gonna introduce me to me. Where I'm from, I don't got like, I ain't see no hope into it. I was like, no, he's just gonna call another dude down. Yeah, all right, what's that gonna be about? Then he called him down. We had a conversation. I showed him some of my music and everything, all that. And later on, it was just pure chemistry, for real. All that. He done mentored me and everything. And he even came into my school meetings and everything when I had missing assignments, everything, and all that. He done helped me got that done, got that out the way, got back on my path I wanted to be on and everything. He really got me on the stuff I really want to do.
I think that is phenomenal. That's incredible. Bo James, we really give you a lot of credit for what you do in the community. Again, it's about putting in the work. You know, we hear a lot about people who are, have had success and have talked about reentry and have, worked around reentry or with young kids or whatever it may be, whatever occupation it may be. But, it's good to actually, see the results, to speak with these young kids and hear them talk about how you actually impacted their life and their careers.
Yeah. And, and that's the space that we want to occupy is prevention. So keeping them from going in. So we have to do that reentry for them. You know what I mean? And so that while you're doing your work with reentry, we're hoping to keep them out of the system and then also giving them a path that complements what they want to do, because they still want, they don't want to live that square, quote unquote, square life either.
Sure.
So we keep them engaged in their passion and their purpose, and we line that up and to make that their priority, and then guide them to their promise. And in doing that, we keep them engaged, we keep them, and we're keeping it relevant because it's what they want to do.
Sure. Now, Twan, it's been a pleasure to have you up here with us and just to hear a little bit about, how Hip Hope and Bo James has had an impact in your life. What are your plans? How old are you, first of all?
I'm 15.
Okay, and what are your plans for the future?
My plan is I'm putting everything, I'm putting all I got into music right now. And that's what I plan to do for the rest of my life, bro.
Okay, all right. Well, I really wish you the best. I heard you, and, I appreciate, your performance. Now, let me ask you something. What would you do, and I'm sure, Bo, you would have this prepared in the conversation as well, as a backup plan in case music doesn't work out, then what would be a second alternative? And I'm not destroying your dreams. What I'm saying is everyone keeps that ace in the hole, right?
Yeah, I get asked that a lot. So really I'm planning to go to college, everything. I'm going to go to college. I'm trying to get a scholarship for football and go do D1. So like if my music don't work out then, which I know it will, but if it don't work out then, I still got football behind me.
All right. Well, you sound confident. We're going to follow your success. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to a quick commercial. Coming up next, we're going to have these other two mentees that are out in the green room waiting to come in. We're going to speak with them and hear what their story's about. Don't change that dial. We'll be back. You're tuned in to 98.3 The Vibe, Image TV Podcast, episode number 17. We've got Bo James and Hip Hope in the house. We'll be back after these messages. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. 98.3 The Vibe Special Edition. You're locked and loaded into a whole lot of love this morning, a lot of success, a lot of entrepreneuring. We've got a lot going on here with Hip Hope. We've got now two other mentees from Hip Hope who are now have entered into the studio and into the image zone. And so, Bo James, you've got two phenomenal young men here. I know that they've got some great stories. I've talked with them already. And so I'm going to start off. I've got Desean Smith, and then there's Floyd Ewing over there. So let's start off with Desean. Tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are.
Well, I love to wrestle, and I just started to wrestle because it coped with a lot of stuff going on in my life.
How old are you?
13.
And what school you go to?
Indian Hills.
Okay. And how has Bo James and Hip Hope played a part in your life?
They played a big part in my life because they've just been there when no one else has been there. They've made life more exciting and to live for.
Well, that's beautiful. And Floyd, what about you over there? How old are you?
I'm 13. I box.
Oh, you like to box, huh?
Yeah.
You gonna be the next middleweight champion of the world? Heavyweight champion? Any kind of champion?
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Okay. And what school do you go to?
I go to Merrill.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about yourself.
I don't really know. I like to play video games.
Okay. Now tell me, how has Hip Hope and Bo James played a part in your life?
They taught me a lot of things. They taught me how to be an executive. They taught me how to handle money. They taught me a lot of things.
Wow, that's great. You know, every time I hear you kids talk about how a positive role model played a part in your life and taught you different things and positive things, they're going to help you learn to grow older and achieve, you know, bigger things and be successful. That makes me really excited because too many times do we see negative role models, you know, influencing young kids on how to be drug dealers and, you know, robbers and killers or whatever it may be. You know, you guys seem to have your head screwed on straight. And you seem to be pretty smart kids. Most kids are pretty smart these days, would you say?
Yes.
Bo, tell us, man, what's been the secret?
Man, the secret is the rapport and just keeping it real. You know what I mean? It's just giving them the respect and giving them the voice that they've earned and that they deserve, and then listening with the intent to understand. Really, that's our secret sauce, is just meeting them where they're at and allowing them to be free, giving them a safe space to where they feel free to articulate their true emotions and their true feelings, so we can meet at the truth and understand the truth before we move on in any relationship. Each relationship with each kid is its own authentic situation. And so we respect them for that, and we let them go wherever they want to go with that full support. Again, we take their passion, help them line it up with their purpose, and then support them so they can make their passion and their purpose their priority, and then guide them to their promise. And these guys, man, I couldn't be more proud of these two right here, man. Like they've participated, taken advantage. They are true models of what happens when kids take advantage of all the hip hop programming. and these guys, they attend the conferences. They participate in the different programs like Hustlenomics and our executive mode program that we have with Microsoft. And our Hustlenomics program is with Wells Fargo, but that also helped them to win this contest that we just had at the Young Men of Color conference, where these guys are sitting on a little bag right now. Like they just cashed out at the conference, but they saved the most money out of 23 kids. Out of 100 kids that it was over 100 kids, closer to 200 kids that it was proposed to last year, these guys were 2 of 23 kids that actually took advantage of it. But then they're at the top 2 standing. At the end of the day, they saved the most money over the past year. And man, we had our presentation ceremony, and someone else stepped up, and now they've earned money to start investing into the stock market. So man, like I said, win. These guys are that example, man.
So going back to hip hop and the creation, where did this all originate from?
The seed of it was actually hip hop comes from me wanting hip hoppers to put hope in their music. Okay. But then it actually came to fruition when and I was forced to organize it when my grandmother showed me a birthday card that she had. And this was her birthday, and she had received a birthday card from one of my cousins who were in prison, and somewhere in Iowa, and it had 23 signatures on it. So I had 23 cousins in one prison in Iowa. Mm-hmm. And so she told me, she said, "Bo, if you find yourself in the position to do something about this, you better do it." And that was my grandma, so I went and did it. And so I formalized Hip Hope because that's where I knew I would find most of our kids who was expressing those high risk behaviors.
And let me ask, so you are a certified 501c3 nonprofit?
Yes, we are.
And where did you go through the training of that?
We actually got our paperwork done at Drake Legal Clinic, and they walked us through all of that. The rest was all mentors, man, like from the community who had nonprofits and stuff like that.
And what about the boot camps?
Ooh, yes. Man, we did the nonprofit.
That's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, I know. I forgot. Yes. And I can't forget about that, man. Like, for real. Big shouts out to Deidre Desean, for real, and Evelyn K. Davis Center, because I did the nonprofit boot camp, and that skyrocketed everything. Then I circled back and did
that's the thing. And I'm not just saying this because I work at Evelyn K. Davis Center,
right,
because
exactly.
I'm not so fond of just giving people credit that don't deserve it.
Right.
But
exactly, the
truth is that you have these boot camps that are here in the community that are helping people.
Yes.
You can't go to you can't go to these other companies and get this kind of stuff.
No.
You can't go to these other nonprofit agencies.
No one else was even offering
that. Yeah. You can't go to what is it? I'm not going to name any names.
Right.
But
I was he's about to name some names. But yeah, man. Like, yeah.
But where are they offering? I mean, there's nobody offering this kind of stuff.
There is no one
It's absolutely free.
Yeah. Right.
They teach you how to run your own nonprofit organization, and then
they give you the resources to be successful, and they give you the support. I mean, a lot of the model of what we do at Hip Hop comes from is modeled after what we've went through. I mean, we can only teach what we've been conditioned to do, right?
Yeah, and we've got to give credit where credit is due.
Yes, all
in our DMI community,
all the time,
right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Now let's get back over here to Floyd. Floyd, tell me, what do you enjoy doing other than boxing?
I like to go to the Y and play basketball.
Okay. And what about your parents? Do you mind your parents? Are you a 13-year-old that is respectful? Or are you one that talks back?
I mean, sometimes I can talk back, but most of the time I don't.
Okay, but you're not disrespectful, are you?
No, I'm not disrespectful.
Okay. What about you, Desean?
I respect my mom a lot. I will never disrespect her. She's one of the main people that keep me up and alive right now.
All right. That's beautiful, man. Well, guys, we're about out of time here. You've been on the I.M.A.G.E show. How does it feel to be on not only the I.M.A.G.E show, but the I.M.A.G.E TV podcast, and then to be locked and loaded into episode number 17? How does that feel?
It feels really great because this is my first podcast. I've never done something like this, and I would like to do it again.
What about you, Floyd?
It feels crazy.
Say that again.
It feels crazy.
Why is that?
I don't know, because I would never think I'd be on a podcast at this age.
Okay. Would you think you'd have to be older to be on one?
Nah, I just thought I would never be on one.
Really? Well, we're glad to have you here this morning. And you guys have been great guests. You've done a great job. So I want to encourage you to stay involved with role models such as Bo James, positive role models. 13 years old, you're old enough to identify him, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
All right. And for all of those that are in the county jail right now, we want to tell you that we continue to lift you up in prayer. We understand that things just get real crazy sometimes and out of our reach of understanding. And so, we just pray that God completely comes into your heart, into your case, into your financial situation, into your life, and that you put all your trust and hope and faith into him, because we know that when you do that, that all things work together for good for those who love God. Would you guys say that's about true?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And more so, I mean, if we could, if you could indulge me, because we have a pledge that really could help, and it's an affirmation that inspires each and every one of us. You know what I'm saying? That the kids say in that hip hop, it's like our mantra. And
Sure.
if the kids would like to say that, it'd take about 30 seconds to run off.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So if you guys can say that pledge for us right now, hit it.
Today I know I matter. My choices are mine and mine alone. If I'm to succeed, I must take responsibility for my actions. I'm more than you can see. I'm a product of something divine. No one can put me down unless I let them, because today I know I matter.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuned in to 98.3 The Vibe, I.M.A.G.E TV podcast, special edition. We want to thank you for tuning in. We want to say it's about that time. We've had Desean Smith, Floyd Ewing, Bo James, Twan Flan, and, we've just been really learning some things about these youngsters and hip hop and where they all started and was founded. So I want to say thank you very much, guys. Let's bring it in for a high five. All right. It's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. 98.3 The Vibe, as we say about this time, it's a wrap.
That was up.